Hello guys and welcome to another track guide video, and today we got Trial Mountain in Group 4, and for this guide I decided to go with this GTR, and I think it's one of the best cars out there and everyone in the top 10 is using it. Also, you can use the Subaru Impreza WRX, and I think it's gonna be a pretty good substitute for this one. So I made a couple of mistakes in this lap. I mean, this lap of course can be a little bit quicker than it is, but in general I'll try to show you a little kind of tips and tricks around the track. So without further ado, let's get going. Okay, let's start with this track guide video, and first I have to say, make sure that you position the car in exactly the same way as I am. Already positioned to turn into the corner, and you can see this little tap on the brakes. You might seem, okay, it doesn't mean so much, but this means so much because it rotates the car so much better. And it's unbelievable how much time you can actually get through this section with just a little tap on the brakes. It makes your line so much better around this whole section. So a little mistake that I did right there is not really fully going off the throttle. So you have to like a little lift and then fully on. But it's just the way it is. So here I'm looking before the tunnel, so just a fraction of a second before the tunnel, maybe about 50 to 100 meters, maybe even less, and then I start to turn in. So transition is very important right here, and make sure that you tap the brakes a little bit to rotate the car, and also I touch the curb to get even more rotation out there. Something like that is even going to happen here. I'm looking at the first rock. Just as you pass it, you brake in the straight line, and then as you turn in, don't use trail braking too much because this car really likes to understeer. So I was letting go of the brakes and then upshifting into third gear, and even before the apex I was already on the power, just to make my exit a little bit better, of course, the way it should be. But here I'm looking at the end of the curb, and in between of those two corners I'm kind of tapping the brakes a little bit, but not too much. I have to say not too much, because it's gonna leave too much of that rotation out of this, so the car will actually start to understeer, and same thing like that. So a little bit of braking, let the car do the rotation, and then on the power. So I've seen a lot of you guys, they just step on the brakes and they hold it like that. It's not the way it's supposed to be. You have to let go of the brakes a little bit. So you just have to press the brakes down to about 20-25%, maybe up to 30, and then just let the car do the rotation. Something like that is even going to happen in here. So I'm looking at the sign on the right, and just as you pass it, I'm stepping on the brakes, but very hard. And as I turn in, you can even notice right there, 20-25%, maybe up to 50% of the brakes, and then I'm letting the car go. And then when the car is fully rotational, I slam the power down and, you know, get the best possible exit out of that. And of course I'm gonna slow down this whole section because I took a little bit of a wider approach, and then just as you get uphill, or you can use this mark, this is where you just step on the brakes. But make sure that the car is straightened up, otherwise the car will lose the traction and you will probably lose the back end in the end. So just make sure that you're not on the brakes for too long, otherwise the car will understeer, and of course you're gonna lose a lot of time. So here, I know it's very difficult braking point, but as soon as that thing goes out of your sight, brake. And a little bit of trail braking can work, and also this curb rotates the car really nice. So make sure that you hit the curb, but a little bit, and something like that is gonna even happen here. If you cannot really use the shadow, you can also use the mark on the right. And just make sure, how am I braking? So brake in the straight line, wait until the end of the curb, then turn in second, and then as you reach the turning point, first gear. It will rotate the car really nice and smash the power down. It will help you rotate the car even further, and then upshift into second gear, and eventually you're gonna end up in third gear, making yourself a little bit quicker. So that reaction time in first, it's the most important thing out there, because you need really to get the rotation of the car in first and then getting it in second. I really hope I explained this, and I really hope I made this lap a little bit easier to understand. And of course guys, if you like what I'm doing, you can also smash the like button, and you can even subscribe to my channel. So once again, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye. Okay, a tenth and a half, tenth up. Okay. Okay, this is getting respectable. Let's call it like that.